Hi everyone, welcome back to the Shelves Have Eyes. Now in our new improved collection room. Still some work to be done, as that update I posted a couple of days ago will attest. But today we will be embarking on this, an unboxing and review of Transformers Studio Series 86 Shockwave. Now, just looking at this, it really is quite underwhelming, let's just say. Considering the fact that we got a brand new mold for Soundwave in Studio Series 86, as well as a brand new mold for Megatron, Optimus, and several of the Autobots and Decepticons, Thundercracker. It's somehow strange that they picked Shockwave to not make a new mold. I know that the Prowl mold and the Wheeljack mold are all just minor retools, repaints of existing figures from the Siege Legacy lines. I would have imagined that Shockwave would have been right up there to have a brand new mold out, because the Shockwave toy that was released for Siege or for Cybertron he's good. He's very good. Don't get me wrong. I really like this figure. I just think that he's a little spindly. Almost as if they took the limbs from the Fall of Cybertron, War for Cybertron game version of Shockwave and then just kind of cobbled together a torso that was blocky like his G1 counterpart. I don't really have a lot wrong with this particular figure, aside from the fact that he is really, I guess he's Voyager now, but he really is kind of a deluxe class figure in terms of the amount of plastic used on him, that you then just cobble together all these parts to make him into a leader class figure. I like him. He's very posable. I like his proportions. I just feel like he should have been bigger, a little bit more chunkier, but I've got nothing wrong with this figure. But this is not the figure that I would then say, oh, well, this will be a straight move into Studio Series 86. So I'm mildly disappointed that they didn't give us a new mold for him in its entirety for Studio Series 86. But I love Shockwave. So, I mean, what am I going to say? I like Shockwave. I was going to buy this anyway. And in any case, how about we get to it? So what you get is Studio Series 86 figure, instructions, and his gun that is himself. Curiously not painted correctly, but that's fine. I mean, guns in Hasbro are very rarely painted. I can't say that that's really all that surprising. So looking at the figure, just brand new out of the box, I guess he looks okay. The light piping is quite good, just as the original figure was. Looking at it, there's a lot that could have been fixed with this figure from the original. And there are also things that were in the original that are missing from this one. So this is kind of in a weird place. So first off, from the Siege Shockwave model, almost all of the detailing has been sanded off. So you don't have the intricate paneling and circuitry and robotic detail on the figure that you did for the original Siege line, and also going into the Generation Select Comic Edition Shockwave, which retained all of the detail, just it wasn't painted or colored. So yeah, I mean, looking at this, obviously some things were, I'm just going to move Comic Edition Shockwave out of the way. Obviously there were some changes made to the mold, aside from sanding off. You can see that his kneecaps are much thicker than they were in the original toy. Also, his shoulder piece is much more pronounced, like it is in the cartoon. They've removed, for the most part, this little built-up piece here, replaced it here with a flat piece and a tab. Now that flat piece and that tab exist so that this figure can be transformed and can be attached to Bruticus. Fine, I guess. I don't like it. This seems fairly intrusive, actually, but, you know, whatever. I would have preferred it if instead of this little paneling, which still retains the same design as the original Siege figure, they've just not colored in the plastic inside of his chest. So this one has like shadows as if there are mechanisms working. This one is just all bright chrome. I would have liked it more if this panel was as it was in the original G1 cartoon. It was simply lines like it is in Energon and IDW and every comic appearance. It seems kind of strange. Another thing is his shin panels, his lower leg panels, should be a different color. Here, in the original Siege line, this is colored in correctly. So it just seems weird that they would make his legs look correct on one and then completely ignore that here. He does, in the cartoon, have silver gray on the side of his leg. So it seems very weird that this is even still detailed in the mold, just not colored in, and nothing is drawn. Your attention is not drawn to it. Looking at his feet, they are exactly the same. They're just simply not chromed. Overall, I would say that the coloration of this is very nice. It does match his coloration in the show and the movie. I like this light lilac that his hand and his gun arm are. It does really closely match the cartoon. But I am mildly curious about why Hasbro made changes but didn't make the changes that they needed to make. It just seems like they had the opportunity to make, and they did make, some changes to the mold. So why not just go all the way, right? Why not bulk this figure up? I mean, the original Shockwave has much more pronounced shoulders. His shoulders should be much larger than this. He should be bulky. He should be built up. And instead, he feels thin, spindly, and neutered. I guess really my biggest issue with this is simply the fact that they took away all the detail that was in the mold, but then didn't do anything with the fact that they did that. I mean, yeah, the detailing here on his arms particularly is more true to the cartoon, but why would you go through that trouble and then not just fix some of the issues with the mold? He should have skirts that go down here to cover the top of his thighs. It's strange that they did not include that. Or the side skirts that he has in the show. All that's gone. It almost seems like they had a finite amount of money that they wanted to spend on a retool, and so they just spent it on sanding the mold down and choosing a different color and making the tab for Bruticus. That's really it. So I'm less than impressed with the changes that they've made to the mold. That being said, he is a very nice figure. He is exactly as articulated as you would expect a modern figure to be. He has a very slight ankle tilt, but because his foot is encapsulated in the bottom of his leg, it really does nothing. So, action pose. He's very nice. Just the same as the original figure. So because this is such a limited retool, recolor, I mean, I would almost just call this a recolor, because yes, retooling just means anything that they did to the mold to make it different, but it almost seems like they erased details, so can you really call that a retool? For that matter, I'm underwhelmed by his robot mode, but let's transform him and see what that looks like. So here's Shockwave in his alt mode. Not really quite sure what this alt mode is supposed to be. In the original Siege toy, it was a spaceship because there were extra kibble pieces that you attached to form wings and boosters. Here, I think the associated documentation says it's a submarine. I mean, it's a hop, skip, and a jump from submarine to spaceship, I guess. Whatever. This is what it is. I just put his gun here because I don't exactly know where this is supposed to fit in the broad scheme of other things that are here. It's supposed to fit here? It kind of looks like it's supposed to fit. I don't know. We'll just leave it off to the side for right now. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's the exact same alt mode. I mean, what more do you want me to say? It looks as attractive as it ever did in Siege. This is, theoretically, you would just fold down all of that. This doesn't extend all the way over there, so I'm not really quite sure where you would put this. I guess you would put it there, I guess. And then you have a pseudo gun mode, ray gun mode. I mean, really, this should go here, but there isn't a 5mm peg close enough to actually fit that. Yeah, he can transform into his ray gun, but I mean, why would you do it? You don't even get a proper handle for it. I mean, this isn't really a handle. Although that does beg the question how this peg is supposed to peg into Bruticus. I really haven't looked at pictures of the way that it interacts, but that's not really germane to this particular conversation. Yeah, I'm extraordinarily underwhelmed by this. Not really impressed with this as a retool or a recolor. It's okay. I don't really want to give this a pass because other figures in Studio Series 86 are fantastic. So why would I rate a very, very slapdash retool repaint as on par with Thundercracker, right? I mean, the Thundercracker toy was very good. I really enjoy all of the transformation of it. I think it's very articulated. There are some things I have wrong with it, but I mean, it's a new mold. It's a new mold and it looks cartoon accurate. This, it seems like the only cartoon accurate thing about it is the color and the fact that they took away a lot of the cybernetic detailing and just put simple paneling on. But this is not what a Studio Series 86 should be in my mind. Kind of disappointed in this, really. It's I shouldn't have had to pay Voyager class price for this. This is, yeah. So there you have it. Shockwave, Studio Series 86 Shockwave. Decidedly less than impressed with it, especially given the fact that this is a triple dip, really, and not really an effective triple dip at that. I mean, I like the Siege Shockwave mold a lot, but if you ask me, I think Comic Edition is probably still wins. I don't think that the retool that they've done is good enough, really. It's okay. It's not really cartoon accurate. It's not really enough of a change from the previous versions of Shockwave. No, it's really a fail for the Studio Series 86 line. I mean, Prowl, I can understand. Because, first of all, who really wants a Prowl figure other than, like, IDW aficionados? And IDW people, IDW fans are going to want a much better Prowl figure than what we got in the Attack on the Autobots shuttle set for Studio Series 86. But even so, I mean, that's fine. That Prowl is a fine Prowl figure. But it is just a transposition from War for Cybertron line. And I feel like you can say the exact same thing about this Shockwave. Nothing really is different enough to warrant rating it differently. It is still the same mold, and I still like the mold. It's just, is that enough to get excited about? Is it enough to pay a Voyager class price in today's money for something that is really a deluxe class figure And it's also missing all of the stuff that made the Siege figure a Voyager Commander Leader class price point toy. I mean, Generation Select's Shockwave, at least, Comic Edition Shockwave, he at least came with Optimus Prime's head, and he was prestige, and he was only sold through Pulse. I mean, there were a lot of things going for this, and I really like this lavender color that he is. And I also like the fake comic book shading. This just, not enough was done to him. Not enough was done to this to warrant that kind of price point. I mean, literally, all they needed to do was enlarge the mold by like 0.5%, like increase it a 50% to make him in line with Soundwave and Megatron. And instead we get this spindly, neutered thing. So no, I am disappointed in this particular figure. I also can't say that I'm disappointed in this figure as a Studio Series 86 figure. As a figure itself, my opinion has not changed. It's a great figure. If you don't own Siege or Comic Edition, by all means pick up Studio Series 86. There is nothing wrong with the figure itself. It is a great figure. It is greatly articulated. I really like the likeness. There are some minor details that I don't like about it, but if you don't own the other versions of the figure, please go out and buy this. I mean, you could really just treat it like a package refresh. But if you already own Shockwave, I don't think there's really any need to buy this unless you're a completist, this is on clearance, or you really disliked this detailing that was on either of these two figures. Is this a must-buy for Studio Series 86? No. I think that really think they should have given us a new mold, quite honestly, and had him transform into a ray gun or a tank. I don't care if you want to do a handheld ray gun or a tank. Megatron showed us that you can make a cartoon-accurate robot body transform into a tank. You could do something much more interesting with the Shockwave than what they did, which was just rehash. I mean, just for example, it's a bit dusty, but this is Transformers Prime Beast Hunter's Shockwave. And I mean, yeah, say what you will about Dave Sobolov's version of the character. This one even has a gimmick. I love the gimmick. Bring me back gimmicks, huh? Anyway, this feels heavier than this, but look at how bulky this is. This is how Shockwave should be. He should be heavy. He should have weight. He should look really built and heavy. And instead, we get this. And it's just kind of like, I don't really buy that. I don't really buy that at all. The fact that this is lighter and this is like easily 2 heads taller also is a huge issue. But I digress. If you're looking for a Studio Series 86 Shockwave and you don't own any other version of this mold, by all means pick it up. But probably wait until it's on clearance because it's not worth full Voyager price right now. Well, thank you very much for joining me today on The Shelves Have Eyes for this impromptu review in our new collection space of Studio Series 86 Shockwave. I hope that you enjoyed watching this, and I hope that this was informative to you. I enjoyed making it because I really enjoy comparison. The price is still just rankling. I'm really not happy with the price increases. Anyway, stay tuned for more Transformers unboxings and reviews. I've got a ton of Transformers to unbox and review, so please stay tuned for that. Now that I'm in my new space, I'm probably going to start doing Titans. Now, I've still got several Titans in box and also several Titans out of box. I can probably start doing them now, as well as starting to really get into the HasLab projects. I have backed every HasLab project, and the only one I ever did was the first part of Omega Prime. I still need to do parts 2 and 3, so I apologize for that. But I've still got Victory Starsaber, Deathsaurus, Leo Kaiser is in the mail, so we'll see what happens with that. But anyway, if you enjoyed this content and you would like to see more of it, please visit our channel, as I have tons of these now, as well as lore shorts for those of you that are not up on particular characters. I probably will not be doing a lore short for Shockwave because it is so extensive. I may, if we do line-specific characters, like specific versions of characters from specific continuities. I may end up doing lore videos for like their Shockwaves or Megatrons or Soundwaves, that kind of thing. But just for a general thing, I'm not going to go out of my way to do lore because that would just be insane. But I have lore shorts, lore videos, all the Chrissy stuff, and a whole bunch of other things beside that. So if this interests you, go and visit the channel. If you did like this video, please consider liking the video, you commenting on the video, and subscribing to the channel so you know when the next video drops. It really helps out the channel, and I love to talk Transformers, so please do not hesitate to send me a line. In any case, for the shelves have eyes, I've been Fantom. Have a good day, y'all.
Transformers, defenders of truth, robots who fight in disguise. Transformers, when the battle is through, only the strong will survive. Till all I want, unknown soldier.